Why are you drinking a 2-liter Coca-Cola?
Because it's Diet Coca-Cola.
Oh, God.
And I'm trying to get that Taylor Swift Diet Coke money is what I'm trying to do.
But we're not even sponsored.
Yes.
But, oh, dude, speaking of money, you remember when we were kids?
When we were kids and money wasn't a problem, and we
Dude.
could just, like, spend the $5 we had on
Yeah.
Pokemon cards?
Dude, oh, man, Poke cards. Life was handed to us. Just like great movies back then when we were kids. They were just handed to us.
Were pretty great.
Do you have any,
Do I have any favorite
have any
movies from
movies?
when I was a kid, which is the title of this movie
I don't
or
think
this video?
I don't think your sarcasm lets on to what I believe to
Of
know.
course I did.
Come on.
I don't think you're ready for this.
Well, I might be considered I opened the topic up here.
Space Jam.
Oh, Space Jam.
Michael Jordan, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Tasmanian Devil, The Others, Newman from Seinfeld, Bill Murray, Larry Bird was in there, Charles Barkley, the Prince, Charles Barkley. Come on, son.
But if you grew up in our generation, that is the childhood movie to go to.
It really is.
And I don't understand.
I think it made everyone like basketball when basketball kind of sucks.
Oh, yeah.
Don't beat me up, Charles Barkley.
That's terrible.
That was the first movie that I was actually got into how it was made and wanted to learn how movies were made. So it was kind of
Oh, it was an absolutely great
the movie that started my interest in movies.
Speaking of a basketball movie, for me, this is going to be a weird one. It's going to be a real weird one, and I'm going to say that out loud right now. The Sixth Man is another basketball movie. Have you seen it?
I have not seen it.
It's a Marlon Wayans movie, which you automatically know probably right now that it's probably bad when I just say that name. So,
Well, they have a few good movies.
he's got a few. It's a basketball movie about where one of the teammates dies. Spoiler alert! And he...
And
he comes back like from the dead as a ghost and helps Marlon Wayans as a basketball player professionally. And man, is it a bad movie. But for me as a kid, I loved it because Space Jam was out and eyeballs are glaring and I don't like it.
Another one of my top movies as a child, as a little human person, George of the Jungle.
George of the Jungle.
Brendan Fraser, Leslie Mann, John Cleese as an ape called Ape,
And you're missing one more man
and
there.
Thomas Hayden
There
Church.
he is.
Thomas Hayden Church. It's for those who haven't seen it, it's a Tarzan ripoff. Well, it might have been a cartoon like in the 50s. I don't know. It could have been like an older thing.
Could've
Either
been
way,
anything.
the original variation of George of the Jungle, whatever it may be, is a Tarzan ripoff. But it's still pretty good. It's kind of like Tarzan meets Rocky and Bullwinkle.
That's exactly what it is.
It's exactly what it is.
For me as a kid, I hadn't seen any of the older movies of what I'm about to say, but I really, really liked as a kid Godzilla. The one that everybody hates now.
I did too. Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, that's the one. That's a
It's-
lot of fish. Yeah, I loved it. Like, I never seen the old Godzilla.
It was so helplessly 90s
Yeah.
that it was just great.
Yeah.
I still love it. I don't care if it's universally bad.
It's super cheesy.
It's very nostalgic for me. And I'm still waiting on the sequel that they hinted at with the Godzilla eggs in Madison Square Garden. Did that Godzilla egg become Henrik Lundqvist? Or perhaps one of the Stahl brothers? Or perhaps one of the other New York Rangers? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out, Matthew Broderick and Hank Azaria. Get your shit together!
But yeah, that's another one.
Okay, what else do I got? What else? Clue.
Clue.
Tim Curry.
Absolutely.
Madeline Kahn. The Others. Whose
You
names
know
are
their
escaping
names.
me. Yeah, but it's, for those who haven't seen it, it's based on the board game of the same name, and it's every amount of amazing as you think it is.
I just saw it last year. I didn't see it as a kid, but it's a hilarious movie.
It is, and that's another movie that I was like really into like making because we didn't own it on VHS. For those of you who are too young to know what VHS is, it was like
it's like a brick
brick
that plays movies.
But you can't skip things like on a DVD. Anyway,
times were tough back then.
we didn't have it on VHS, and somehow I wrote it from memory, word for word, so I could remake it with third graders, and I was gonna be Mr. Green.
I don't see why you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Another one for me. We actually mentioned this in a previous video. It's gonna be right here, most likely. The Road to El Dorado.
El Dorado.
But yeah, easily one of my favorite animated.
It's a great one.
Animated
I actually
movies. Miguel Antolio.
I went to a field trip to see that movie because we were learning about El Dorado, only to find out that it wasn't educational at all.
But it was a
it was a
real
little
good
educational
field trip, I'm sure, though.
Yeah. A field trip where we see two guys on a boat together by themselves with a talking horse.
I like this.
Mhm.
I like where this is headed.
Iron Giant.
Oh, Iron Giant. There's one line in that movie that gets me every time. You go, I stay.
You messed it up again.
I didn't mess anything up.
He throws the kid into space?
He throws that kid into space.
He throws the kid
We
in...
have video
I
evidence.
completely misinterpreted that part of the movie.
Man, you got to go back and watch it.
I guess
then.
I do. They don't make them like that anymore, really.
No, it's... Can we go back in time?
To when the camera wasn't working?
No, to when the Power Rangers movie was a thing.
Power Rangers.
God, man, that movie was great as a kid. And I'm sure it's still great now.
I had a life-size cutout of the White Ranger.
The White Ranger?
Yes, the white one.
Please, inform me why the White Ranger.
Well, you see, I'm Caucasian.
Scientific evidence proves that he is correct.
No, the White Ranger, for those of you who don't know, used to be the Green Ranger, and then like a Pokemon, only not, evolved into the White Ranger. So I went from liking the Green Ranger because green, that's my Jimmy Jam right there, and then it turned into the White Ranger, and I was a little disappointed that he was wearing white now, but
I mean, he looked awesome.
he looked awesome,
So-
and he was the Green Ranger in his heart.
So it's a great movie.
The Phantom. Have you seen The Phantom?
I have not seen The Phantom.
Okay.
Can you describe
The
to me?
Phantom, starring Billy Zane, is based on a comic book in which a guy wearing purple spandex is like a ghost in the jungle, and people can't find him even though he's wearing purple in the green jungle. And he beats people up and has this ring that leaves marks on people's faces after he punches them in the face. Oh, and there's a pit of sharks in there somewhere, and it's pretty great.
That movie sounds awesome.
It is awesome. One of the main things, this isn't really a spoiler. This happens in like the first 20 minutes. But this guy is like looking in this magnifying glass, and someone made the magnifying glass stick out razors, and it poked the guy's eyes out. Because back then,
Was this a kids movie?
yes, it was. I'm pretty sure at least.
Brutal.
Back then, kids' movies were hardcore. Now they're super soft.
That's why kids are so messed up these days.
Mm-hmm.
And look at us, we're fine. We're good enough. We're good enough. There is one more movie that I have on my list
Mhm.
that defeats all the other ones, for me at least. The Goofy movie.
I believe you have a song for
Oh,
us.
we're gonna go hard here in the next 30 seconds of our lives. But yeah, the Goofy movie.
Pretty great.
It's my
Kids'
number,
movies are
it's my
great.
number one. I love kids' movies back in the 90s when they were good.
And they're not soft. And eyes weren't gouged out.
Typical. Typical.
You could have killed that barracuda in Finding Nemo if you just had a magnifying glass with razors coming out of it.
Come on.
Come on, son.
Oh, Mike, so many great childhood memories, man.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, man, we should...
So many VHSs stolen by my friends and then claimed they were lost. Colin and Danny.
How do you lose bricks? Come on.
Cool Runnings. A Goofy movie. Independence Day. I don't know where they are.
I'm sure you guys do. It's hard to lose those
Danny
things.
knows where Independence Day is.
Messed up. But, anyway.
What's over there?
Over there is... It's our favorite actress, right? Well, for me, actresses, because I'm indecisive. But yeah, that's over there.
Mm-hmm.
And over here, this is crazy. Ghostbusters review.
Ghostbusters.
We don't know whether it's good. We don't know whether it's bad.
We don't know who
You'll
to call.
find out if you click on it. So, we can call Ghostbusters afterward.
Down
and call it
there.
a good day.
Down there is the like and subscribe button. Like and subscribe if you feel so inclined.
That's what they're for.
And also comment what your favorite movie as a kid was.
It could be anything.
Could be anything.
Literally. It could be The Phantom.
It could be The Phantom.
It could be Finding Nemo.
Could be Finding. Yeah.
Why? But
I mean,
still.
Finding Nemo is great. I'm not gonna lie,
But still.
but still,
Here's the thing.
here's the thing.
Above that and below us, it's crazy because there's like social media sites. I don't know what they are, but I'm
It's
sure.
this new thing that the kids are doing on the internet.
21st century is crazy, man. All right, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We just do all kinds of things. We reply to your messages. If you ever send us anything in the world, that'd be
There's
fantastic.
been like 2 people, and it makes me sad because I spent a lot of time setting these things up.
Don't make Mike sad.
And you guys aren't utilizing them, and now I just feel like a stupid head. I got a lot of Russian brides friending me on Instagram.
1-800-HELP-MIKE.
I don't want a
Please.
Russian bride. Not that there's anything wrong with Russian brides, but I already have a bride, and
She's not Russian.
she's not Russian. She's from Florida, which could be weirder.